Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fangirlz Assemble. Look, it's us on a Sunday. And we're
We're
here.
doing it. Hey, I
Whoa.
sound a little better, guys. Just a little bit.
So, Kristan is on her way to recovering. So, if you joined us Wednesday night, thank you again for those that
Yeah,
did.
thank you.
She was doing her best.
I was
And
very flu ridden. I'm on my way to recovery. Still got some
want to take
symptoms,
your
but
flu shots, please?
yeah, which I did, and apparently it cut my symptoms in half.
Oh, yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, because everybody's like, then you still get the flu. It's like, well, I did, but
It's not as
apparently
bad as it could be.
apparently it's way better than people who don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is better?
What?
InStockTrades.com, where
Right?
you can get great deals on books, including the one we're going to talk about tonight, which is the Archie Varsity Edition. This is a 2-in-1. It is a beautiful book.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can get that for a great deal at InStockTrades.com. Tonight, the Omnibros code, you guys may know about it. It's ending tonight. It's an extra 3% off. Doesn't stack with the loyalty discount, but that's still a nice deal. It's Get on the Love Omnibus. That is the discount code. It ends tonight. I'm going to use it later. It's going to be bad. Or great. It depends.
Great.
Yeah.
Pick up some books you've been waiting on. Pick up, get yourself a Valentine's Day present.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's weekend. Treat yourself.
Do good by yourself.
Absolutely.
You deserve it.
And don't forget, if you're going to shop at Stock Trades, make sure you're spending at least $50 because if you live in the U.S., you're getting free shipping. You're throwing away that money if you don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? They have a flat rate of $4 for shipping, which is a great deal. Awesome. But yeah, just throw more in your cart. You know you want it.
Yeah.
You're saving that $4. That's $4 off a book, basically.
And it's already so cheap.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I can give you, hey, if you guys need there's always that threshold. People get to sometimes they'll get to the $48 mark and they're like, what do we do? I have tons of picks for you guys. So if you ever get there, let me know. I have tons of little books that I'm like, throw that in. It's great.
Yeah, I want to get that cat book that you got with your last order.
Oh, yeah. What's Michael? We need to talk about it. Yeah.
It just looks really silly. I don't know anything about it, but the cover looks really funny.
Well, Omar talked it up.
Oh, wow.
Apparently he read it and loved it back when it was first in print. So
that
says something because he's not some get cat books guy, right?
No, so, not at all.
So, must be great. I'm excited.
All right. So today's show, we were talking about which Valentine's books to read, and we settled on this one.
That's right.
So we're reading Archie by Mark Waid, and we're reading the Varsity Edition. This book 1. So for any of you that were interested after the show, want to check it out, you can read this on Comixology Unlimited. They have volumes 1 through 6, but they also just have the Varsity Edition itself, so you can read it digitally
with the extra bonus stuff.
Yeah, with all the bonus stuff, as long as you have Comixology Unlimited. So, which is awesome, great for me because I don't own it. But I know that Kristan owns the really nice Varsity Edition.
I do.
Which, man, this is meaty.
Yeah, it really is.
I was reading it on my phone earlier because I was in the car. And I was like, oh, I must have read most of this. And then I get home and sit on my computer because I'm like, well, let me just see. I probably have a little bit left. And I did not. I had a lot left. And so I was like, oh, God, no. It's because I was trying to get ready for the show. I was like, ah.
Yeah, and I realized that reading it too, because I'd read this in trades, and then I got this edition, which I hadn't read yet. And yeah, I remember it not, I don't know, it's not a quick read. It's not a quick read.
No. I was really surprised.
Which is surprising for an Archie book, for sure. And I will show you, if you guys are interested in this edition, the extra material, there's a good chunk of it. That's this stuff right here. And it starts with this, which is Mark Waid talking about how he would revamp the series, basically. And it's very interesting. I kind of skimmed it, but it is interesting. And then there's just tons of there's some art process stuff, if you're into that sort of thing, which is pretty cool to look at. And then there's a butt ton of variants. It's actually not even all the variants that came out for the series. There's so many. It's so many great artists that you know and love. It's very fun. So it's a very nice book.
So this was fun to delve into because this is I've never really read any Archie. I'm sure I've read like snippets of like OG Archie when I was younger, but never really got into Archie. I've watched some Riverdale. I'm aware, right? I feel like Archie's one of those things that's just like
Pop
it's
culture.
public consciousness. Yeah, like everyone knows the deal. This is my first time really getting into this. It was really good. I really like
right.
the downside. I mean, I enjoyed reading it. I wish Veronica was different. I will say that. That's not really the Veronica that I wanted to see.
Mm.
And I didn't like the way that the art fluctuated. Did it fluctuate, or am I just crazy?
So Fiona Staples started it, and I mean, you're starting at the highest high with Fiona Staples.
Okay, so
because she's amazing.
She's so good.
She's amazing. And then let's see, who took over next? Someone took over next. Another artist took over next, and then I think they did a few issues, and then it changed again. Now, I will say the artists they had were still good throughout it.
Oh, yeah.
But when you start at someone so good, like Fiona Staples' art, I mean, you're not going to get better. So, yeah, you're starting. So, it's going to be noticeable when it changes, which it was noticeable.
And we run.
They were still great.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, nothing's like the beginning.
But I liked it. I want more Jughead, but I think that's just always.
Oh man, the Jughead series.
See, I need to read Jughead because I
Jughead
really
series is great.
spend time with him because like I don't know, maybe because it's kind of like a revamp sort of deal, but like I don't know what I was expecting, I guess. But I think maybe I wanted Veronica to be a little bit different.
I mean, she sucked.
She sucked.
She super sucked.
I mean, yes, but like
there were parts of. I mean, you know, you kind of feel for her sometimes throughout it. That's the point. They want her to be a little likable, right? But you know, you're Team Betty the whole time, right? Who isn't?
I mean, she's great.
Specifically with this rendition, who isn't? Like, how can you not be?
Mm-hmm. And she's very teenage girl too, which I don't know. Like, these are such teenagers.
Yeah,
maybe Veronica, but like, you know, Betty. I guess the thing I like most about her was like the lipstick incident.
Oh yeah.
And for those of you guys who haven't read this yet, like, there's this like when you start off, there's a bunch of like fourth wall breaking where Archie's talking to you. It feels a lot like
I love the
like Saved by the Bell to me.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like Zach's like, pause. Okay, here's what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fun because I love shows like that. I love books like that. And he's like, you won't believe what happened. Like, we've been together since we were kids, but then the lipstick incident. So you're thinking, okay, well,
what
then.
Is it? Yeah, you're wondering the whole time, like, what is it? What does that mean?
But that's not it at all. It's because Betty, everyone made fun of her because she's like, I guess, quote unquote, tomboyish. She works on cars. She's not like, well.
Not like the other girls.
Not like the other girls, which would be fine.
Right.
But you know, that's the point of it too, right? Because she's like, okay, well, I want to try it for myself. I want to get prettied up. And Archie's like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Yeah. He loses his mind.
Which is a boy thing because, you know, I mean, a teenager thing. Because he's like idealized her, right, as this person. And when it doesn't meet that image, he's like, I don't know what to do. This isn't like the you that I'm used to. And so he just freezes because he's emotionally like
he can't
young, immature, right?
And he can't communicate.
No, it's just like, you know, F you. Let's see. And she puts lipstick on his face like, see, are you any different than Stormsoft?
Yeah, I love that moment.
I like
a great point.
Like, oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that was my favorite part of it.
Yeah, all the you know, the stuff that really emotionally got me, I think maybe the most when I think about it, all the stuff with Veronica's family, her dad, fight of her dad is mad at Archie because he essentially like accidentally ruined a mansion they were building because he's very clumsy and he didn't mean to, but he did. But the stuff with Archie's dad, and when that plot point came up, it like hurt my heart. You know, it made me really upset. And I mean, like Veronica's dad offers Archie this really nice job overseas because he wants him as far away from Veronica as possible. But his dad's all excited because they've never had like tons of money. And I don't know, that really got me. I was like, there's just these little deep moments throughout this silly Archie book that made it so like, oh yeah, Mark Waid's writing this. Like, I can tell he's hurting me a little, right? Like, he's making me feel things.
Dealing with the class like undertones of this whole town situation.
Yeah,
even with like Jughead too, like between Archie and Jughead, like what Jughead's been through. That's like part of the whole.
Yeah, the flashback of him as a child and stuff. That stuff was great too. Yeah, and the whole time I was also like, oh yeah, I need to go back to the Jughead series because I just want more Jughead. Although, even though Archie's an idiot, you feel for him too. You know,
well, I like him. I think you know
he's a lovable idiot.
And I part of me wishes that the Riverdale show was less drama. It was more this.
Yeah, no, totally. I
or
agree.
like again, Saved by the Bell level.
Mm-hmm.
He's goofy, and he's a regular teenager, right? Things don't work out, and he meets this girl, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm all about this girl." Yeah. And so he just kind of like falls all around for her. But everybody's like, "Oh God, what is this?" And she's, you know, shallow because she's never had that situation. But she's cute and she tries you know, that Paris and Nicole show, basically.
The Simple Life.
Yeah, The Simple Life. Thank you for knowing what that was.
Yes, absolutely. That's so funny. Yeah, her plot point definitely reminded me of something like that too, because it's like you still kind of feel for her, you know.
So Freddie says that Veronica will win us both over in Varsity 2. And I believe that, because honestly, usually I'm a Veronica fan. And sometimes it's because I think Veronica and Betty should be.
I mean, yes.
I feel like they should be the ones together.
That's the worst part of the beginning of Riverdale, the fact that they teased that so much and it just never was a thing. Ridiculous.
I mean, you know about CW and queer baiting, so. And speaking of other things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then Bray said, yeah, Chip made him ace, then Ryan North had him date Sabrina by accident.
Oh, yeah. I did read that. I blocked that out. Yeah, it's still a fun series, though. It's a really fun series.
I really want to jump into it. Yeah. Especially with asexual characters. I think that's something that we don't always talk about either. Like, because a lot of comics don't do too much of that. Like, we really do, luckily, with our show compared to some other shows, we do take time to celebrate and explore diverse things in comic books. And a lot of times we talk about LGBT, but I don't always see like the asexual spectrum.
Definitely not. Yeah.
So if anyone has any cool comic book recommendations like that, let me know.
Totally. I mean, you know, it's always just great seeing other people that aren't like us represented.
Yeah.
And I mean, whenever they address it in the comic, it's very well done. It's very well done. I think even the ace community has been like, this is great. Like, you know, this is good representation, which is great.
A quick question. Drew asked, are y'all still reading Buffy? We are. So right now, so we don't overdo it on the channel with our Buffy readathon, we are doing like one episode a month about that until we're done.
Specifically the Buffy and Angel universe, yeah.
So next weekend, we will be continuing that and doing the rest of the books that kind of lead into the season 8, right? So like the pre-season 8 stuff, that includes all the Spike stuff, so like After the Fall, and the one that is across Into the Light.
Into the Light, yeah.
And we'll be doing Buffy Tales, as well as Angel the End, also known as those books that some books that she has that I don't have.
Are we also doing Illyria, or are we not going to touch that one?
And we still can. It's only 4 issues.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It's up to you. I'll buy it on Comixology. I guess.
Someone's gonna have to buy it. I mean, I can buy it too, but
I can buy it and give you my info. I don't care.
Well, we may or may not do that. How about that?
We'll see.
We'll figure that out.
But the rest are the definite.
Yeah. So the Spike stuff, Buffy Tales, and the end. Yeah.
We will be doing Frey, but I think maybe might want to wait on Frey until maybe throw that to the beginning of the Buffy stuff we're going into.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's more, it's for that part of the universe.
Yeah. So I think we'll save it. So yeah, I liked Archie. I want to keep reading it.
Yeah, I mean, this is again, I'd read this, but I think it's been a few years now since I only did the first 2 issues or the first 2 volumes, which is what this was, but I didn't even remember what the lipstick incident was. So, it was a treat. If you've never read any Archie and you just think it's this silly love triangle, I think it's more than that. There's elements of that. It is silly. Archie is silly as a character, but specifically what Mark Waid is doing, I think it's a great revamp. It's the kind of revamp you want to see for something.
Oh yeah, like for sure. I mean, it's good to see that with them. And I know there's a lot of other like Archie, modern Archie stuff, a lot of them like Supernatural or whatever else, and that doesn't appeal to me so much because I don't have like a long Archie love.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really like this, and I think if you're like, OG Archie fan, I think you'll probably like it. I think if you're looking for something new, or even if you're into Riverdale, I think you'd like it. If anything, maybe just because Riverdale's so dramatic, it gives you a chance to read something that's not so dramatic. It's just regular like teenage problems plus a little bit more, Definitely. But nothing just so crazy at all times. And the varsity issues are very pretty.
They are very pretty.
So, I mean, just from a collector's standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, even the spine. That's a good spine to have on your shelf.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. And they are oversized. So it's what we love.
Oh.
So we were going to talk about other romantic reads after this, right?
Yes.
Which I made a whole list of and I left upstairs. But
you know what? Listen, we're just going to wing it. We're going to talk about our favorite romantic reads.
I think I'm going to start this out with one that we did mention last show, but I think we should just throw out there again for anyone who hasn't read it. Bloom by First Second. It's a story about 2 college guys who meet at a bakery and fall in love, and there's hijinks and there's some crazy stuff that ends up happening, like legitimately, like when I think about it right now, it hurts my soul a little. Okay. What ends up happening with that bakery, but it's so fantastic. The art's amazing. I wish I had it right here to show you, but I don't. It's great. It still sticks with me. I want to read it again, and I usually don't reread anything, but I will read that again at some point in my life.
Yeah, I think, let's go ahead and get the first, second part of this over before we talk about romantic comic books that are outside of that publisher. But my definite number one still recommendation, romance-wise, out of First Second is still Kiss number 8.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing 100%. Really beats that for me.
Yep, no, that's my top one, too. We've hyped this book up so much. If you haven't read it, I'm surprised, and I want you to go read it. I won't tell you a thing about it. We could.
And also,
but
if you're like, if you're into like the different like Netflix romantic teen movies that come out every so often, like maybe if you were watching To All the Boys I Loved Before, the new movie this week, then definitely read Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me.
That's a great recommendation, especially for that kind of audience.
Very teen,
mm-hmm.
Very LGBT friendly, very good. I mean, someone's gonna make this into a movie eventually.
I would think so.
Like that's just gonna happen for sure.
That would be a good Netflix movie like that, though. It really would be.
Oh yeah, they should just pick up all the First Second movies.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man. And then, of course, like, this isn't First Second. Now I'm getting distracted. The one with the prince who likes to dress up as a prince.
The Prince and the Dressmaker.
Yes, The Prince and the Dressmaker.
I also love that.
Oh, my gosh.
It's so good.
Romantic teen dramas. Oh, that definitely makes sense to me.
It's a whole genre.
Usually when you're a teen, Well, actually, a lot of romance always have drama as well. Drama and romance.
Right.
I
Well,
think
there
a
has
lot
to be something, or else it's boring, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're a teen, because it's just angsty. Everything is like the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Laura Dean reminds me of Booksmart. Yes. Have you watched Booksmart yet?
I haven't. Apparently it's now on Hulu, so I can
It's
watch
on
it.
Hulu. You should. Absolutely.
I want to. It's something that, I know I'll love it. One of those things. I'm like, I'll love that.
Oh, for sure. And I know that we did talk about like part of the issue of choosing, or the issue that we had trying to think about like a Valentine's Day read, is that to me, and I think there was a lot of people in the chat that agreed last week, some of the best romantic comic book or graphic novel reads are really manga for me. I think the shoujo genre as a whole, I mean, there's just so many wonderful romantic stories.
My love
there.
story. My love story.
Kristan, have we talked about my love story before?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You know what? Number
we both
one.
love it.
I'll go and throw that. And that's one.
Yeah.
Let me just, Drew, you were saying like the romance and the drama doesn't always fit. What about teens about being romantic? I don't know about you, Drew, but I was very romantic. I was a romantic completely. All I thought about was love.
I was going to say, in some ways, I think teens got it right more than adults. When it comes to like,
sappy.
Think back to when you were a teen and what you thought was romantic. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe we all need some youthful romance back in our life.
But yes, my love story. That is my number one top pick out of the shoujo genre. And part of that is because it broke so many stereotypes, like, and so many just like the usual stuff you see in shoujo. Like, I love shoujo as a genre. It is true. There are a lot of typical tropes that happen across many, 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 many series. My love story really broke the mold. Because for those of you who haven't read my love story, haven't watched the anime, both are very good. Your main guy, Takeo, right?
Yeah.
He's this big guy. He's into judo. He's into he's like a very like wrestling type of dude. He's just big. He eats a lot.
He does like martial arts and stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of martial arts. And he just has his best friend. And that's like the big thing. And he always falls for girls, but they are not about it because he's the way that he is.
They're kind of scared of him.
They're scared of him because he's big and he's tall.
And his best friend's like the pretty boy, the typical shoujo main lead guy. And he's not. He's a side character, which is great.
Oh, I love it. Because all the girls fall for his best friend. And they, his best friend always turns him down because they're mean about Takeo. Right? So that's kind of like their dynamic. And then finally, he meets someone that he falls in love with, this short girl who bakes him sweets and Takeo loves to eat. And then it works out so great because eventually he's just like, oh, well, she can't like me. I'll hook her up with my best friend. And that is not the case because she's so head over heels with Takeo and they're both so awkward and so in love. And I love that they don't, I guess, somewhat spoilers, but they don't drag it on forever like other shoujo do. You could be in a shoujo and it's just like they never get together for so long, and that's not what happens here. And you really get to be with them and explore their romance and how awkward they are and how real it is because they don't know how to hold hands and they're not really sure when or how to kiss each other, and they're both so in love with each other but don't know how to deal with it.
It's so cute. And you're right, it doesn't go on forever. I think the manga is like 12 volumes. That's not a commitment. It's, I didn't want it to end. For a long time, I just didn't read the last two because I was just like, I don't want it. But it, it has a great ending. Like, it's all, and that's it. It's so sweet. It breaks so many stereotypes. You fall in love with all of the characters. Him and his best friend, their relationship alone is so sweet and wonderful, and I love them. It's just everything about it. It's great. It's so good.
Yeah, please, everyone, check it out. And it's one of those, I feel like, a lot of shoujo. I mean, shoujo literally means girl. Like, it's it's a genre that is like marketed towards younger women and girls typically. But this one is something that I've seen all of my friends like. It doesn't matter their gender or what like genre they're into. Across the board, they all love my love story.
I think that's so true as well, because like I heard about it from a male YouTuber who talked about manga, and he even said, he's like, guys, shoujo isn't even my thing. This story is amazing. And I was like, this is great. Like, I love this.
Yeah, I always hear people talk about that, and then the other side, I don't know if there's a manga for it, maybe it's just an anime, is Clannad, which is like, it looks like a harem anime, but it's like, I guess it used to be a visual novel, and apparently it's super sad. I do not like it. I'm not a fan. But every muscular dude that likes anime that I know, all about Clannad. All about it. I dated this like super hyper religious dude in Kentucky. Big dude, beefy, loved Clannad. Not that religion had anything to do with it, but usually that's not. It's like,
that's just like, yeah.
It's a stereotype.
Totally.
Larry recommended The Ancient Magus' Bride. I agree.
You know, I keep hearing good things about that, but I haven't.
It's very good. Yeah. It's fantasy, but it's done in a very different kind of way, but kind of Ghibli-esque. It's like a Ghibli-esque fantasy, and it's just a really kind of low-key, almost it's one of those that kind of balances slice of life and fantasy, because you're dealing with a lot of like daily life stuff, but in like a beautiful fantasy background. So cool too. Even though he's like a skull head, but you're like, wow, it's so cool. The Heart of Thomas, one of my favorite manga romantic stories. I've never heard of that one.
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
Add it to the list.
We need to have Larry's recommendations.
Larry
has great taste and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. No question.
Leave us a comment of everything we haven't talked about that you love, Larry. We'll read it all.
The Larry book club.
We'll have a Larry show.
I'm down. Oh man, but yeah, there's so many manga series I could go through. There's just too many. A favorite of mine is Mars. They've made a couple different like live action TV shows of it. This is really popular in Taiwan, and I don't even know if it's as good as I imagine it to be. But the art's beautiful, but it's like very dramatic. It's one of those like definitely like marketed towards teens, because they're all like so dramatic, and they all have all this crazy stuff happen to them. The other thing about shoujo is like, you know, there's two teens in love, right? But then eventually there's like a fight. The guy always like is fighting some like mob people
for no reason.
For cute romantic Harley Ivy moments, the New 52 Rebirth Harley run is it. Harley does have a lot of good romance in her books, which I really appreciate. And I have heard a lot of good things about her newer stuff too. I need more Harley and Poison Ivy, of course, but
I had to read them. You know, not to drastically change it, but I have to mention Rogue and Gambit.
Yes.
Specifically the Rogue and Gambit series by Kelly Thompson and Mr. and Mrs. X. You know, you all have heard us talk about it, but if you haven't picked up those series yet by Kelly Thompson, they're so good. I mean, because
we should have done that tonight. Why are we just like
I didn't
romance
even...
book we've read? That would have been perfect.
Yeah. They're so great, and you know, Rogue's my favorite X-Men character forever. But those stories, especially if you were never on board with a couple for some reason, or maybe don't know much about them, you don't have to know anything about them. Jump into those series. Kelly Thompson will make you fall in love with their love. It's great. It's so good. And
they're such a great couple too. Like you know, part of the hard thing is like if you're a fan of romance and you're a fan of DC or Marvel, right? And you're trying to think of like, okay, what are my favorite romance stories in those? It can be difficult because a lot of times comics, like a lot of major TV shows, at least the big two, are too scared to let couples just be married and happy. And we've seen that happen with a lot of things. You know, somebody dies or they chicken out. Because we had a year, right, where both Marvel and DC were like having their big weddings. We were going to have Cat, and we were going to have Kitty and Colossus, right? And neither of those weddings happened. Now, luckily, at Kitty and Colossus' wedding, Rogue and Gambit got married because they're so cool and chill. Like, why are we like, party?
We got this.
We'll do it. Right? But that can be really frustrating for fans because you get really into this and you get really into these romances that usually don't spend too much time on either because comics go boom, 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 boom. At least, again, superhero comics. And so you're trying to think of like these like romances that survive and we don't always have the time. But at least Rogue and Gambit really did do it because they really got their own series.
Yeah. Oh, and it's great. It really, we talk about Kelly Thompson all the time, but this is like, maybe, I think it's my number one thing she's done. And I love tons of stuff she's done.
Right. Somebody asked to see my cat. Was it Drew? She walked over. Here she is.
Oh, hi, Robin.
She says hello. And she also says, Mother, there's food in my bowl, but
you don't want that food.
Oh, okay. Right. I also, part of me wants to say Mr. Miracle only because of like the really cute moments between Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, but I also remember the really problematic moments with Mr. Miracle.
I would like a story of just them going grocery shopping.
See, and that's what we
talk about this all the time, but it's so
more
true.
Of people just hanging out. Thank you.
I need a superhero slice of life imprint. Okay, so we got the Black Label. No, how about the grocery label? Okay, it's just all superheroes that we love.
Where's my slice of life label? Right?
Yeah, just doing mundane things, having relationship dramas, whatever.
Oh,
but they don't have to worry about the superhero nonsense. They're just
that would be great. Because I like both, but I want to be able to have both options.
I want to have a fluffy moment after I've went through some drama and some stuff. You know?
Absolutely. Ooh, speaking of other romances. Now, so I guess there are a lot of great romances in comics that even though the romance isn't always the centerpiece. And I think definitely Saga is one.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a romance to end all romance.
a timeless tale at this point, yeah.
Oh, I mean, when you think about big, wonderful fantasy epics, right? And just such poignant romances, Saga.
100% agree.
Those two love each other so much. And they, not only do they love each other so much, but it feels like a realistic romance. Despite like the whole craziness of their whole situation, right? The stuff that they go through are things that people in that sort of situation would do. Mm-hmm. The fighting and the doubt and just in mistrust and abuse, like not like a physical abuse, but like personal, like self-inflicted abuse sort of deal. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, so good. That's a great one.
Will and Grace, but it's a Gotham City Sirens slice of life comic. Yes. Yes, I want 100%. Gotham City Sirens, but it's like...
Actually, I just want that crossover.
Girlfriend.
Jack. It's going to be great. Jack and Karen meet... Jack and Karen meet Harley and Ivy. Let's go. Like...
Oh, man. The combat that should have happened thanks to this Despicable Video, right? Listen, Larry, I'm going to be in the same area as this man next weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I think I'm just going to have to avoid him because I feel like I'll get there. I want to be my usual cheery self, but I'm not going to be able to help myself, like, letting off some awful passive-aggressive comment, and I should not be that way, so I'm just going to have to avoid because I would feel so bad after, even though it's justified. But I would feel so bad.
Just send me one of those epic voicemails or voice memos where you're like, this is what I want to say to him right now about this thing.
Man, and we've talked about this before on the show, but whenever I get mad about comics, I usually send voice messages to Kristan and Faria. Because I'm just so angry. Like the Batcat wedding, because we had I released a ton when that happened.
Yeah. I felt bad for you.
Because he killed that, and he killed Titans. And in my heart, he killed Rebirth. He killed it. Rebirth was wonderful, and I was happy. I was a new comic book fan. Everything was good, and now I'm upset. Ooh. I think if Tom King applied himself in Consecrated, he could really make a great romantic comic. But you know how he gets. Yeah, and for those of you who watched when I did a review of Heroes in Crisis with my friend Lee, that was a big comment, right? Because he can do romance. We've seen it. But he has a bad habit of having these men just, deal out their emotional trauma and put it on the women in their life.
It's not good.
Does that happen in your life, Tom King? Are you good? Are you going to a therapist?
All right.
I say that with the most concern. My cat is trying to fuck some shit up behind me.
I have been loving it so much.
She's missed me today.
As long as she doesn't knock over your Strangers in Paradise thing. She's good. Look at how good she is. She's like, I know not to do this. I can do everything else.
I will say that there are some couples in DC that they let have their moments. And I feel like the one couple that really gets to be that way is Green Arrow and Black Canary, which I'm very thankful for. They get to be in love and married. And I guess Mera and Aquaman do too, but I'm not as into them.
So that doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Oh, duh, Superman and Lois. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess.
I've been here just none of them get to do anything. I'm like, Clark and Lois are literally married and have a kid. And they're not going to go anywhere. And they're not going to ruin that one. Just talking out my ass, you guys. I'm sorry.
We're mentioning some books that have the side stories of the relationships, I always have to mention it. Giant Days.
Yes, yes.
Susan and Graham, okay, Daisy and all of her shenanigans with everybody she ends up dating. Giant Days has great relationship moments and really sweet moments too. And again, if you guys haven't checked out Giant Days, it's over with. It's done. You don't have to keep waiting. Read it all right now. Go get it. It's great.
Yes. It's definitely Giant Days. And a lot of Boom, has some great romances.
The Avant-Gardes.
Yes.
Has a great romance. Several, really, throughout the whole thing. 2 volumes out now. Go get them. That's great. Fence has tons of...
Oh, yeah.
There's tons of implied romance.
Oh, man, and non-Boom, but Check Please.
Yep, that was on my list. Check Please. 100% Check Please. Oh. Guys, if you haven't read Check Please, you can go read it online right now, and it's so good.
Larry mentioned the perennial Off Again, Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson. Well, yeah, and Dick Grayson he's got some good romance in his life, but it's never constant, right? Because he's got Starfire, which we see in the movies. In the movies, they are a definite thing. And then in the comics, it's sometimes not. What are you going to do? Yep, good. What is your favorite event? Crisis on Infinite Earth, 0 Hour, Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, Blackest Day, or Brightest Night? Probably, I'm going to loop these two together, but Brightest Day and Blackest Night are my favorite. Kristan, have you read any?
No, none of those. And I just read those and I'm like, those names, guys.
It's a lot.
When you read them all on a list, it's like, oh. Everybody thought those were really cool names? Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think you like Brightest Day, Blackest Night. I think it's fun. Mostly because, everything's crazy. It's fun.
I like fun things.
I always thought Dick Grayson was at least bi, sort of big twink energy.
I like that.
Most of Twitter agrees.
That sounds
especially right. Twitter in Asia. Let me tell you. Interesting about China is that, as far as comic fans go, I'd say about 60 to 70% are women. And you see a very big difference in fan art. For DC especially, from China. And I think also from like other East parts of East Asia as well. But man, they're all about bad boys. They're all about. So interesting. Why is Birds of Prey bombing? It's not. It's doing really well. It already made back its budget. I forgot what they just said like 300 mil worldwide, I think. You can fact check me, but like.
Don't quote you on that.
I think that was it. Ooh, Infant Crisis because of Wonder Woman Max Lord. Larry, that's a good point. I need to remember that also. That's during like Rucka's. It's around Rucka's stuff with Wonder Woman, right? It's really good. Ooh, yes, Freddie. T'Challa and Aurora back in Black Panther 2.
Quite a storm.
See, this is what happened. We started talking. I'm like, oh yeah, because whenever I start talking about stuff like this, I look around my shelf like something's gonna tell me. Oh, hey, Strangers in Paradise.
I was like, when is she gonna talk about it?
Although that one's frustrating too. To me, Strangers in Paradise is that's a wonderful romance, but it is the slowest burn. It is the slowest burn. So if that's not your thing,
if you're not in for the long haul, then
yeah, be prepared.
I still gotta finish it.
You do?
I really need to. I should do that soon.
Also read Sunstone, please.
Well, now I have to. He could be watching.
You have to read. Oh God, Sunstone is such a good romance book, but that one, I mean, that comes obviously with the clause, right? Like, it is very mature. On my other channel, they said we were reviewing porn, and then Tina had to very skillfully school this guy in the comments to be like, "There's a difference between erotica and porn." Very interesting. But Sunstone's, as far as like, I think women loving women romance, because not necessarily lesbians. Sunstone, wonderful. Strange in Paradise, wonderful. And if you need manga stuff, Utena, please. Even though it's the weirdest thing, please, Utena. And Sailor Moon, because of course, it's full of great romance. Have you ever read Sailor Moon?
No.
Have you ever watched it?
Maybe back in the day, but I didn't grow up with it. I wasn't.
Wow, we gotta change that.
Would it hold up? Is it one of those things?
I think it would.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in.
Especially since they've like.
I know there's cats. I like that.
Redubbed and everything. Oh yeah. Sailor Moon's totally your thing.
Yeah, I need to.
The characters are wonderful. Now, granted, I've been a fan since forever. But even though it is a magical girl premise, I think it's a lot different than other magical girl stuff. It's very mature. Like, the things they go through are very mature. And man, that was one of the first ones for me in my life that really did well with like LGBT representation as a whole.
I love that.
Wonderful.
Didn't it come out recently with those big, like, shiny manga?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
And the art's great. I mean, it's beautiful.
So the manga's good too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I like the manga. I used to have it all back in the day. See, and Hayden just got done with the first season of Sailor Moon, says really holds up.
Sweet.
Sailor Moon's awesome anime and manga. Agreed. Also, the live action show is really good too. And plus, man, like, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune are like the lesbian couple of anime. Like, it's just them. It's like, I guess, like Utena and Anthe, and then Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. Watch Tuxedo Mask becomes Reed's favorite. Probably. He's the best. He just throws a rose and doesn't really help situations.
That's hilarious.
I don't know if you've seen this quote go around, but there's like this little clip from the show, and he's like, "And now I'll take my leave." And so it's like, "But you didn't do anything." But she thinks he's so dreamy. Oh gosh, I was so in love with him. And Jupiter. Oh, and Man4 says Eternal Edition is shiny.
Maybe I gotta add that to my order tonight.
I I'd really like to see what you think.
Would you recommend I start with the manga or the anime?
I'd say the manga. You'll get through it quicker.
Okay.
And I
That
say
is
that
how I tend to do it.
because I wouldn't recommend the newer anime that they've released.
Okay.
I recommend the older one, but it does take a while. It takes a little bit longer because it's just a lot. Because they do a bunch of like Monster of the Week stuff for a while. So you could find like a must watch list and get through it faster. But I think read it.
Where is that streaming?
Larry, I love all of them, but Jupiter's my favorite. She's my number one girl. My mom made me a Sailor Jupiter costume when I was a kid.
Oh.
Because she was tall like me, because I was the tallest kid in my elementary school. And I always had my ponytail like her. And I loved to cook. And I loved boys. Anyway, sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Oh, I was just asking, where is it streaming? Do you know? The usual
Hulu.
places? Or okay.
I think they got the original dub on Hulu too.
Sweet.
Which I love because it's hilarious. They changed some of the names. Like, Sailor Moon's Japanese name is Usagi, which is rabbit. But they call her Serena. Her best friend name is Molly, which is definitely not her name, for real. And she has the worst accent. Serena! So good. And then their other friend is glasses guy that's like an anime like scroll, like the swirly glasses. So like Melvin. It's so good.
That's fun. Man, I got a long list.
You're gonna love it. It's so dumb. And so like Usagi is so stupid. She's so stupid. She's always failing all of her classes. She's the best main character. She's really dumb. She's dumb and clumsy, and she just likes to eat a lot. And she's selfish and whiny, and I love her. Oh man, you're in for a treat. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It annoys me so much that no one realizes she's Sailor Moon, though. Her outfit doesn't change that much when she transforms. That's true. People always complain about Superman and Clark. I can get that. There is literally no reason no one should know who these girls are. It makes no sense. In the live action, it makes sense because they all have black hair normally, and then when they transform, it changes colors. Not in this world. They don't even have masks on.
That's crazy.
Everybody's like, I know who that is. Okay. Like, Tuxedo Mask is the only one that makes sense, because he's got a mask. But,
Well,
whatever.
I have something to look forward to. I should have thought about that during my flu times. My sick and bed times.
If I had known, I just assumed.
Yeah.
Can y'all review the Claymore anime? We can review the Claymore manga.
I would love to read the manga.
Have you read any of it?
I have the first volume, but I never went beyond that.
I
think it's all
the anime. So cool. So cool.
Yeah, it's not that long either. And I think it's on Viz app, right?
Oh shit, is it?
I think it is.
That's great.
I'll check while we talk. But
we just need to review things that are on the Viz app.
You know what? We should.
It's so quick to read. Like, there's some stuff I want to go through, like
there's so much on there, and I typically get overwhelmed, and then I just log off.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm like, I don't know what to pick. There's too many.
And then the ongoing stuff, I never remember where I am.
Oh my god, same. Because even whenever it like keeps your spot, like it's not that good at it. So I'm just like, where am I? I don't know.
Matt, did you see the most recent Harley Quinn episode? I haven't. That's the season finale, right? I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it soon.
All of Claymore's on here.
Well done.
We'll do that maybe March. Maybe that'll be a March thing.
Good March. I'd love to. Because I watched the whole anime, but the anime didn't like finish like most anime do. It's never finish. There's just advertisements for the manga, I guess. Man, it's so good. I'm pumped. I just love strong, I don't know, lady gangs.
With big swords, yeah.
Do we need a dark and gritty Scooby-Doo reboot? Didn't we get one?
You
DC
know,
something. It was bad, right?
Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, I read the first 2 volumes, I think. Wasn't my thing.
Mm.
Didn't love it. I guess it was dark and gritty-ish, but not really. Yeah, there could be like a haunted, like dark Scooby-Doo. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the charm of Scooby-Doo is that it's all not like dark. It's just silly, and it ends up being some guy in a sheet, right? Like,
Yeah, I think I'd just be down with if it got like the Buffy Boom treatment.
yeah,
You know, I think that's what I would like.
some modern.
But then if we do that, can we also please get this ghoul school that's just like Shaggy and Scooby? Where they like went to that school and taught those like the ghoul kids. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Where they had like the werewolf girl and the ghost girl.
Oh yeah.
Vampire girl. That's what I want.
That'd be fun.
We really need. Give me that one. Those 90s Scooby-Doo movies are pretty dark. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, just putting that in live action kind of makes it creepier.
Man. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated cartoon was more real monsters and still super silly.
That's true. Man, now I just want to go watch all these cartoons. Like, go revisit Scooby-Doo.
I've been dying to jump back into Gargoyles.
Yeah.
I've been in the mood to do that lately. A lot of just old stuff. Hopefully soon.
All the throwback Disney Plus stuff, it's still, like, all on my list, and I'm just like, what do I do? There's too much. And then I just don't watch any of it.
Right? Yeah, same. My Disney Plus list is like so long. It's like,
yeah.
It has to be the right time. And when it's the right time, I'll go through all of it.
Yeah.
Like this week, for some reason, I've been in like an older horror movie check, which not too old, but I've never seen Scream, so I've just been watching all the Screams. I was like, oh, this is great.
Oh, Nev Campbell, what is she doing anymore? What's going on with Nev?
You know, I looked it up because I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
She's beautiful. She's still beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I guess she was in that show on Netflix that's about politics that had the shit.
I feel like I know where you're going actually, and I can't think of the
House
people
of
either.
Cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
House of Cards. I never saw that, but she's in it. No. What? Ghoul School appears in OKKO. You can just watch the episode in the big crossover Steven Universe. There's a crossover with OKKO? I've never seen OKKO. I heard it's good.
Steven Universe before I start any of this.
Oh yeah, shit. Better Steven Universe.
Yeah. I gotta.
I'm telling you, once you run out, just give me a call.
I will have to.
I bought all of it digitally. So, Drew, my answer is Treasure Planet.
I don't know that I remember either one enough to answer that.
Really?
I know I've seen them. It's been a long time.
It's time to rewatch it.
I guess so. I'm just adding to the list. And
once again, I'm just begging for you to come visit so we can just. My ideal weekend would be you just come over and we just have we make a fort and we stay in our pajamas the entire weekend and we just watch stuff.
We'll have to add some days, I think.
That's all I want. Is Reed saying something?
Reed, no one can hear you. Come here. Yeah, okay. He's trying to say something.
Oh, tell
1 second.
Tell Reed I want him to come over and have a sleepover. A weekend sleepover, the fort.
Is the best.
I heard that one.
They heard that one. I don't know that I've seen that one. I know I've seen the other one.
I'm listening and the delays were bad. I let the cats in here.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Buff, you wanna... At this point, we're not on a show anymore. Okay. Here's Buffy.
Oh, baby.
Yay. She's like, no.
So cute.
Oh, Buff. Oh, no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. There we go.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next weekend with another part of our Buffy Readathon installment.
Yes.
So get ready for that. Just to
read
reiterate,
stuff.
we'll be doing Angel of the End, Spike After the Fall, Spike Into the Light, and Buffy Tales. Those are the definite ones that we will be reviewing. If we still feel inclined, we'll throw Illyria in there, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're not sure.
I'm not
Not
going to
sure
promise
what-
anything because your girl is trying to plan a wedding.
Yeah, maybe we should just skip that for now. I don't think it's
Wedding?
No,
Or Illyria.
Lyria. I don't know that that's necessary to the story.
That's true. We can always do it
'Cause
later.
I've done it all this time without it.
We can throw in like a side story stuff. There's a bunch of like Angel side story stuff that we can throw in later.
Yeah, like there's a Smile Time adaptation that's fun.
Oh yeah.
Different things.
All right.
And Tuesday, we have our pick of the month. It is Berserker Unbound on InStockTrades.com, our great sponsor. It will be 50% off, usually 42% off, 50% off from Tuesday at, when is it? 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern? Wait, or the other way around. 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central.
I'm not good with time.
That's it. That's
I'm
right.
I have no help.
That's on the site updates. You'll see it on the front under the deals. Berserker Unbound. It is a Jeff Lemire series from Dark Horse. We're excited. It's going to be cheap because 50% off. It's already a cheap book. It's a little hardcover. And it'll go until the next Tuesday. So get it on Tuesday or through the next Tuesday. And they're the best. Like we said, throw in other books. Throw in this with it. Get Berserker Unbound. Throw in some Archie. It's fun. We liked it. Throw in some Angel stuff if you want. They still have that Beautiful The End hardcover, which I have somewhere. Here we go. They still have this on the site, so it's very beautiful. You can get it. It's pretty. You may want it. I liked it. I liked visually it. I don't know that I like the insides, guys. We'll talk about it. But
They made some beautiful hardcovers.
yeah, if you like something
At the
pretty on
very
the shelf-
least, 10 out of 10 looking hardcovers.
Right, that's right. So get your stuff there, though, because you're going to get the best deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best.
All right, so we'll catch everybody next week. Hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. Don't forget to use the Almond Bros code tonight on InStock Trades before it's out for extra 30% off. And yeah, so we'll be catching you all soon. That's it.